Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. A little recap on our last video where we spoke about essentials to bring along to Canada once you get your permanent resident visa. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys my custom pre-departure list. If this sounds like something you like, please stick around with me and I'll be right back. Guys, this video is going to be done in series because I have a whole lot of lists. That's why I call them my custom list. So I'm going to be doing them in series, and they range from personal items to food stuff and other items that I think that you should bring along while coming to Canada. Yeah, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be starting with food stuff, which is my favorite. I can't even begin to tell you the things I brought to Canada, but then I have gone through it, and I'm here now to share with you guys what is essential, what I think you should bring. Landing Canada takes a lot of process, so for me it's really helped me because immediately I landed I had all my food stuff. I won't lie, the food stuff I had, it lasted me for more than a year because I didn't just bring food stuff from while traveling. I also cargoed some food stuff. That's how bad it was. Yeah, so people might be asking, like there was a time I did a video on Instagram and people were asking, come, are these food stuff not in Canada? And I'm like, yes, they're in Canada, but I'm still trying to compare prices, especially when you're in Canada and you're still cargoing food stuff. I'm still trying to compare the prices and see which one is more affordable. I love African food a lot. I'm still trying to acclimatize myself with the Canadian food, but if you're coming for the first time, I always encourage, please bring as much food stuff as you can. You can ditch the clothes, ditch the shoes, ditch every other thing that you have that is not essential. But I tell you from an experienced person, you don't want to come to Canada and start buying food stuff from the African store. You can't, I don't know, maybe the rich people, when you bring a lot of money and you can afford it. But me, I just feel that just come and have those things on ground. So you're kicking off, you're not thinking about food at the moment, so you're thinking of hitting the labor market. Also encourage that you please make inquiries from the airline you're about to use, because there's some food stuff that are not allowed. But what I'm sharing with you guys now is what I brought along with me. Another tip is that please start packing your things like immediately you get the golden meal. Let me not lie, me, I started packing my things before I even got the golden meal. It was more of faith. Like I was like, okay, I want to start packing my things gradually. I was ditching clothes, I was beginning to sell home items and all that. But again, it depends on what works for you. It worked for me, but I don't know. So just start packing your things gradually, because that rush is not something you want to start with. You will forget a lot of things. I said last week, all your documents, please make sure you're packing them somewhere first, that is taken care of, and you're not going back there. You just, that one is taken care of, you're not touching it. Then you move to food stuff. What are the things that I'm buying? You take care of that. I also believe that food stuff comes last, because so it doesn't start getting spoiled before you get to Canada. But again, start packing other essential documents on time so you avoid the rush and start forgetting items. Yeah, then the next tip is that do not carry a box. Me personally, what I learned was that the less heavier your box is, the more items of food stuff, because for this video we're going to be talking about food stuff. I'm going to be doing other items that you should bring, but for the purpose of this video is majorly on food stuff. So for me, I believe that the less your bag weighs, the more items you should get inside, right? I got this lightweight bag from Musbao. They are located in Lagos. It's just this black bag that is it doesn't have weight at all. So I loaded a lot of things, and what was weighing in the bag were actually my food stuff that I put in, and not the bag itself. So some people make mistakes of carrying boxes. Those things are very heavy. By the time you weigh the box alone, who knows, maybe it's going to like 5 kg or 4 kg. So I always advise that you just buy those lightweight bags. Canada, so don't think that there's no grocery stores, like you're going to miss African food. We have African stores in Canada. Soon I'm going to an African store close by, so I'll show you guys these prices so you would understand why I said once you're coming for the first time, please bring as much food stuff as you can carry. But if you land and you still want to cargo after comparing prices, then that's left to you. But that first time, that first landing, please just make sure that you bring as much foodstuff as necessary. And also please note that all items must be dried. So if you're bringing fish, make sure that you dry your fish, like your smoked fish, make sure that it's smoked. If you're bringing leaves, like me, I brought a lot of leaves. I brought uziza leaves, I brought bitter leaves. I brought a lot, like it got down to curry leaves, so I dried them and made sure they were dry, because fresh leaves are not allowed. Yeah, so you dry them and make sure that you pack your foodstuff in transparent nylons, label them and put them in all those big Ziplocs nylons. And it would really help you when you get to the airports, and those agric people in Nigeria international airports wants to go through your bag. They don't have to now start telling you to open them, right? So you just, it's already in the Ziploc label. So if they see stockfish there, they already know it's a stockfish. Instead of you saying, okay, open it, are you sure it's stockfish you carried and all that? Yeah, so please label the Ziploc and label them with what exactly you have inside. Yeah, so I always advise that you please don't carry liquid. I know liquid is not allowed. So those that want to bring their palm oil, their granite oil and all that, I don't know how you want to do it, but during my time I learned that some people froze their palm oil when they were coming. So please, it depends on how you want to do it. I couldn't, so please do not carry any liquid at all. Yeah, so the first food stuff I carried was gari. Like I can't even begin to think how I'm going to cope if I don't have gari. Like at least eat gari once a week, right? So I carried the red gari and I carried the normal Ijebu gari. Yeah, so what I did was, it depends on the quantity you want. Me, I always advise just carry as much as you can carry. That will last you at least for 6 months. But I carried a lot because I cargoed, right? But please, I advise that maybe you should ditch the cargo for now if you're coming for the first time, and just carry as much as you can carry, within that accommodates your luggage size, right? The next I carried was dried pepper. I love Cameroon pepper a lot, so I did dried pepper. That's the Cameroon pepper. I blended it and I had the dried pepper separately. I didn't even add them together. Next on my list is dried fish and smoked fish. So the last time I cargoed, that's when I arrived, I was told that catfish wasn't allowed. So but please always confirm before you start buying your stuff. Fish, I also brought along stockfish. That one I use it for my soup, right? So please always just take notes. Try and put them in Ziploc bags, and transparent Ziploc bags, and tag them so you don't go through the stress of people going through your bag. The next I brought was also grounded crayfish and nut cubes. So chicken or anything that contains chicken is not allowed. So the next I also brought was grounded crayfish. So I brought the normal grounded crayfish. I blended the normal crayfish, and I also bought the red one, which they call edekupa. I use that one for noodles, and I also love using it for my efori roll. Yeah, so the next on my list is iru. For that iru, they have two types. That's the fresh one and the dried one. So what I did was, for the fresh one, which they use for efori roll and ofada sauce, I dried it because I don't know how that stuff is going to smell, right? So I just dried it and I brought that one. Then for the other one, which they use for soup, I added like crayfish, added some seasoning inside, I molded them, and I just brought that also along with me. Then for my leaves, I made sure that I brought everything. Like I brought uziza leaf, scent leaf, I brought okazi, I brought a lot of them, like name it, I have them, right? So what I did was I just dried them, because over here it's not as if these leaves are not sold here, but in the African stores, either they are also sold as dried leaves or they are put in the freezer. You understand? And I don't know how long it stays. By the time I bring them, it's already looking black, right? So I just made sure that I brought as much dried leaves of all this that I've mentioned, and I brought them along with me. All I do when I want to use them, I just soak them in hot water, and it's just ready for me to use anytime. Yeah, so I also brought golden one. You need to check with your airline, see if that you can carry that. I brought. Then I also brought beans, right? Like I brought oloyin beans and the other one where you can just use for a moment. Then yes, for the pepper soup ingredients, I bought my own pepper soup ingredients. I bought each one of them and blended it, like a lot of them, because pepper soup ingredients I see here, the spices I see here, it doesn't it doesn't hit it, right? Then suya spice, man, please, if you can just bring your suya spice. I brought kuli kuli. I brought all those snacks that I was so in love with, I also brought a lot of them with me. And it just makes me feel at home sometimes. If you are coming for the first time, please just bring them along and enjoy yourself before you start trying to dive in. So yeah, I won't forget herbs and spices, any herbs that you're used to, and spices that makes your food taste as well as you want it. Please don't forget to bring that along with you. Then momoy leaf, oh my god, the momoy leaf here, I don't know, they put it in the freezer so it doesn't get spoiled. So but if you can bring as much momoy leaf as you can, just carry, or that other can where you can make momoy. My next video might be me going to the African store and showing you how much this costs. Maybe yams also, because yams over here, oh my god, as in I can't begin to tell you how annoyed I guess when I buy yams and I just put my knife and I see it's already bad. So if you can, I know it's heavy, but try, if you can bring one or two, at least two to hold body before you start buying the yams here. Then I remember that when I was coming, I said, oh god, I was going to bring pots. Some of my friends also brought their pots, and I was like, I called my brother and I was like, what, please don't just even try it, don't bother bringing pots. There are pots here, there are better pots here. But the truth is, when I came, I bought pots, but those kind of big pots, right, where you want to cook like for a lot of people, I tend to now start using 2 pots, which is stress for me. I have not seen, maybe I've not researched enough, but I've not seen those kind of, if you can just carry one, just carry and come if you can, if you're a lover of food. I'm talking because I love food a lot, right? But if you can, really just carry one. But if you can't, you can just make use of the ones. And if I make my inquiries and I see the spots where you can get bigger pots, I'll make sure to get them across to you guys, right? Then yes, I also bought granules, and granules, I use granite for my granite soup. So thank you for sticking with me till the end of this video. I really do appreciate. If you're already a subscriber, I would always say thank you. You're the reason why I'm here. You're the reason why I want to sit down here and give you all this information, or tips and tricks. I am so grateful. I thank you guys for subscribing. If you're new to this channel and you like the content that I provide, and you want to be a member of this community which I am trying to build, please click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. And also please share this video. Sincerely, this might not come out like, what is she saying, like all these food items, are they necessary? Please, it's I'm talking from experience, right? I had a lot. There are a lot of these food items that I wrote down when I was coming, and there's some that I got here and I'm like, it's not actually needed, you understand? But these ones, I tell you, you don't want to land Canada and start thinking of food stuff. So next week, where we'll continue this topic on my custom pre-departure list. I'm still your girl anytime. I love you guys. Have a beautiful one. Bye.